stop this, you know, like
Yeah.
whatever. But anyways, so I'm glad to see you're doing some hiking and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's another question. Let me see who it's from. Hold on. It's from the modern folk on,
Oh,
yeah. So
yeah, Josh.
how do you feel about lawns?
Lawns, I fucking hate lawns.
Why?
I mean, okay. I live in the arid West, right? You guys live in the arid West too.
Yeah.
It's true. Um, Lawns are uh the single crop in the US that uses the most water.
Oh, isn't that like why like in California, I think they were what's it called, subsidizing people to like get rid of their lawns and put in just like rocks and cacti and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do that? It's more beautiful.
It's
It
more
looked it
beautiful. Well,
looks
this is
sicker,
the thing.
yeah.
It's like uh lawns are just like white European colonialism manifest in our day-to-day lives.
100% is.
Yeah, where it's like this like dumb like uh 1823 attitude of like we can make the entire country look like Western Europe.
Yeah.
And it's totally based in nothing. It's totally like moronic. And it's like and it's not even it doesn't even look good anywhere. And it doesn't provide any shelter for wildlife. And it's just like a waste of space. And there's no reason for any of us to have it, you know? When it's just like there we live in the grasslands. There's
Yeah.
beautiful grass here. There's
Uh-huh.
like unbelievably like this wide variety of grass
Yeah,
that we could be growing. And
totally.
it provides food and shelter for lots of critters and doesn't need to be watered.
Yeah.
And it why would we plant Kentucky bluegrass? Like it's completely foolish. Um, but you know, there's a lot of anti-lawn memes going around these days,
Is it
and everybody
really?
sends them to me.
Oh, that's dope.
Um,
That's
yeah,
sick.
and I really appreciate them. So I'm
That's
glad
so
that
cool.
Josh asked that. He knew that he's like, how can I get Andrew to yell about something?
So I guess my other question is, how do you feel about suburbs?
Suburbs? I mean, suburbs in general is like, I think that we have the wrong idea about suburbs
Mm-hmm.
because like we do have this image of like Chicago suburbs. It's all planned communities. It's all white people. It's all
Mm-hmm.
rich people. It's white flight.
Mm-hmm.
Which like yes, historically that is part of it,
Mm-hmm.
but that's really like only a fraction of the story. Where like you know, for example, like Houston, like the Houston suburbs are unbelievably diverse culturally,
Mm-hmm.
and because it's like it's cheaper than living in the city. And so that's where immigrant communities go. And yeah, there are like the kind of like nasty looking planned communities or whatever,
Yeah.
but like it's like that's what we got in the US. We're
Yeah.
a young country and we don't know how to like preserve architecture.
Yeah. That's
And
interesting. Oh, sorry, did you want
no, no, you go ahead.
to? Okay, that's interesting that you like talked about it from that perspective because like I majored in geography at school. And so I had this you know, they're always just talking about like space and how space is just occupied and stuff. And I had this professor who absolutely hated suburbs with like all his being.
Yeah.
I took this class called the Geography of the United States, and when we were talking about, what was it? I think it was like the Midwest. You know, we're just going through different regions of the United States, and he was talking about Levittown, USA, and like the beginning of the American suburb. Have you heard of
Mhm.
Levittown?
I'm like vaguely aware, but
It
yeah.
was just like, and like they wouldn't let like people of color buy the houses
Yeah.
there. It was so I didn't know this about suburbs back until I took that class, but and it was like they would like prioritize like people that went to like, you know, serve in like the military or something, like in wars
Yeah.
or something. They would prioritize them, which is like predominantly white folk. They were like, yeah, USA, you know. Um, yeah, and so yeah, it's just interesting that you hear it from your perspective, because like yeah, it is, it like suburbs are definitely a safe haven for like, you know, people that can't afford to live in a city where it's like highly gentrified and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's
So,
like in the Bay, it's like
Oh man.
SF is one thing, but then the suburbs are like pretty equally vibrant,
yeah. Yeah.
and so it's like I think that that history that you're talking about is like obviously important to be aware of,
Hmm.
but it's like our popular notion of the suburbs is still like 25 years behind,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, people maybe don't realize that like what that actually
Hmm.
means now.
Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, pretty wild.
Yeah. So I guess moving on to the next question, this is from the person themselves. So ask him if working with Hayden Pedigo on an album was terrible.
Did Hayden ask that?
Yeah, that was from Hayden.
Oh, no, it ruled working with Hayden. Yeah, we did two albums together. We did the Big Text album, and then I produced and recorded an upcoming album of his that's going to come out on Mexican Summer.
Mm.
And
Oh.
yeah, maybe that's not announced. I don't know. No, they announced it. It's fine.
That's
And
sick.
I love working with Hayden. He's a really good dude, and like I think that we're starting to develop a really good working relationship, and I think it's like we've done these two records, and I really pretty strongly believe that like uh, that's just like the beginning of what me and Hayden are going to do together.
So how did you and Hayden link up?
He honestly was the first person that I knew around here.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah. So we bought this building in the end of 2014, but we didn't move out until 2017. And Hayden, I think it was 2014, he curated one of Tompkins Square's Imaginational Anthem guitar compilations.
Okay.
And he had me he had me do a piece on one of those the album that he curated.
Okay.
And so that was before we were even considering moving to Littlefield. But then, so we like kind of vaguely knew each other from that. And then when I started coming out here, I would just go see him, and we became friends that way.
That's sick.
Because it's a small, it's like this part of West Texas, there's not that many people doing music stuff or whatever. So you got to really like form those relationships and do what you can.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So here's another one. This is from Lucy Liu. What's Lucy Liu's favorite Mariah Carey album?
Wow.
Oh my God. I don't know if this is a Mariah Carey album. Emancipation of Mimi.
I have no
Do you know
idea.
the answer?
I don't know the answer. Like
We're gonna say that's right, but also
Yeah.
we don't know.
Yeah, they literally,
We got that feeling. I can vibe it.
yeah,
I'm
literally
rolling
just
with it.
hit me with a tweet.
Yep, that is the 10th studio album by
Oh,
American
really?
singer-songwriter
Awesome.
Mariah Carey.
That's so dope.
That's Lucy's favorite. I'm whatever they say, that is Lucy's favorite.
Oh, yeah. So, here's another one. Your most exciting musical achievement so far.
My most exciting musical achievement so far.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like honestly, just the fact that I have a career in music
Yeah.
that like
It's sustaining you, I guess.
say that again.
It's just like sustaining you, like being able to live and put food on the table, like you were saying.
Yeah, it's like it's still a job, and so
Yeah.
it has its frustrations, but like
Yeah.
my job is music and doing a bunch of stuff with artists and people who are interesting and make great work. And it's like this is a Monday afternoon, and I'm on Zoom with you guys doing a show. Like it's kind of like a weird dream life.
Yeah.
And so that I think that is the greatest musical accomplishment
Hey, you made
is
it.
that I get to do it.
You made it. You made it.
Yeah,
Texas
yeah.
Prairie legend Andrew Weathers has made it. And
Yeah. Hell yeah.
so here's a few more. What is the food you hate the absolute most? That's from Patrick.
That's from Patrick. Patrick, what the hell? Um, I I feel like I need to ask Gretchen this. I don't know.
Can we get a
There's
phone?
nothing that I like
You get
absolutely hate.
one phone call each show. You can call in Gretchen.
Okay, I'm gonna go ask her actually.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Okay.
He walks out of the room.
That's honestly dope.
I think it's gonna be a quiche.
You think so?
I think it's gonna be a quiche. I've just got like
Quiche.
a good feeling that he's not a fan of that. It's just not a flavor in his palate.
Of
It's not a flavor in mine.
baked
Do you like quiches?
egg pies? I don't know how I
Yeah.
feel about an egg pie, dude. It's just
You don't?
Okay, asparagus.
you don't like
Whoa!
asparagus?
Yeah.
Really?
No, asparagus is whack as hell.
Maddie,
Everyone's like, it's really good if you grill it. It's not. It is gross.
I honestly like it grilled. It's honestly kind of good like that. Maddie guessed quiche. Are you a fan of quiche?
Yeah, I mean, but it's like I'm never gonna want a quiche. I don't desire quiche.
Yeah.
But if you put it's like honestly, like this is why I have trouble answering the question, is it's like if someone puts a thing in front of me, even if it's asparagus, I'm gonna eat it. Like it's food. It's rude to not eat it. Like I'm not allergic to anything.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna eat it.
That's how I am too. Like I'll generally just eat anything, and my
Yeah.
girlfriend is like more on the picky side. She's probably gonna listen to this and be like, "Fuck you for saying that," but she's more on the picky side, and anyways, I'll just like eat whatever, like I don't care, like as long as it's
Yeah.
not okay. But the first food, I actually had it last week, and I did it to myself. Nobody even gave it to me. I did it to myself. First food that I've absolutely hated, and it was like, not eating this, I'm throwing it away, was this vegan tuna that I bought at a grocery store, and it was
Yeah.
disgusting. It was the
Yeah.
grossest thing I've ever tasted in my life.
Yeah. The fake meats is hard.
Yeah.
It's like I'll get down with it, but like
I can get down with
I
most vegan things, and I think
yeah.
that vegan food, when it's like literally just like plants, like if you make some chickpea tuna salad, where you just smash up some chickpeas, throw some mayo in there, some veganese, throw some celery, some pickles, delicious. That
That's a
is
good
so
time.
refreshing. It's so good,
Yeah.
but once they do the fake meat, gets a little dicey there. You know what I'm saying? And
Well, I think this is kind of like the problem. It's like I'm not a vegan, so I maybe have no right to talk about this, but it's like, you know, there are a lot of things that you could do to make like a fun, delicious protein.
oh yeah,
And it doesn't need to be in the image of tuna
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
dude,
It's like
yeah,
you can just make a thing that's good
yeah,
and it has its own existence and like that you know, let it just be itself.
yeah,
It doesn't need to be tuna. It's not tuna.
exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess Maddie, do you have a food that you hate most?
Definitely already given it, I think, over to the quiche. I like asparagus, although of course the smell that comes after is
Not good.
really fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh good God, though, really just for years I hated sushi, but I'm back to fully embrace that again, having a good time.
The vegan sushi
Could a
that did
chill-
it this
Could a
weekend,
chilled
right?
soup be bad? I don't know.
Chilled soup.
Gazpacho.
No, I love gazpacho.
There's this. I eat cold food because, again, I don't care. As long as it tastes decent to me, I will eat it. So I eat cold food. And one time at KCSB, when we were doing in-person stuff, we would always have food left over from like our orientations or like general staff meetings. We get like catering. And anyways, Maddie, I think this might have been before you like joined the station, but Nico Van Imeren, she was so offended when I walked into the station and I just grabbed a plate, like between class, just grabbed a plate of cold rice and just started eating it. And she's like, just staring at me. And I'm just like, what up, dude? Like, you good? And she's like, dude, put that in the microwave. And I'm like, no, dude. Like, why? Anyways,
Cold rice is fine.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I eat my old oatmeal cold too. Like I don't even
Yeah.
heat that up. I just soak it for a little bit, eat it cold. Like Anyways,
Wild style.
yeah, wild style, dude. So here's another one from Patrick.
Dude.
What
This
is
has
the what is the worst movie you've ever seen in your entire life?
Oh my God. Why does Patrick want to know about my worst?
Why is everyone trying to rile you up? This
Yeah, I know. Well, it's like everybody knows I'm high strung. Worst movie. Oh man. I've seen some bad movies. You know, I the only one that I can remember, I don't know if this is definitively the worst,
Yeah.
but that movie Date Night.
Really?
It's like Steve Carell and Tina Fey.
It was just so it just hit you in such a bad way. You're like, no.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's it was one of those things where it like nothing really happens and you watch it and you're just like, I just wasted my life.
Yeah.
Like I didn't laugh really. I wasn't I wasn't amused.
Yeah.
It just had there's all this shit happened in front of me. And it's like maybe this is why because I watched that because the woman who worked at our local post office who I've like become buds with, she was like she like started quoting Date Night at me and just like going off on it one day, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I have no idea what this means. And she was like, oh, Date Night, you got to see Date Night. It's like the best. And I did it. I watched it. I'm trying to connect with the people around me, and so we watched this movie, and I was just bummed.
Did you tell her that though?
No, I didn't. I was like, I watched it. I get your joke now.
You never go to that post office again.
No, she got transferred to another post office,
Oh,
so we
that's
never
sad.
have to talk about it again.
Okay. I was gonna say, what if she hears this, dude?
I know.
What if like
I'm
somehow she like finds out that you did this interview? I don't know if she follows you on Instagram.
She's gonna
or
be
something.
so mad at me.
Yeah, she's gonna listen through 1.5 hours of us chatting, and she's gonna
and
get to
finally get to the point,
and she's gonna be like, "Fuck Andrew, dude. Why did I sit through that?"
Oh my God.
And then no one is ever gonna get their tapes ever again.
Yeah.
Always lost in the mail.
Yeah, everything
Yeah,
gets
dude.
lost in the mail.
Yeah, that's so funny. Okay, so one more from Patrick. He wants to know what you hate no, I'm just kidding. How are you so prolific and keep the quality of music so high?
I mean, same to you, Patrick.
I know, right?
That's what we're asking him when we interview.
Yeah, no. Can I like issue my fan question in advance?
Oh yeah, do
Patrick?
it. Yeah.
Same to you. I mean, it's kind of like anything. It's just like you do a little bit every day.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I have this like kind of like unhinged organizational system for projects in progress of like folders on my computer, and you just kind of like go through everything every day and think about it. And even if you don't like touch anything or move anything or listen to anything, you just like look at the folder, like think about the project.
Yeah.
And like what needs to happen, and just kind of like have a constant awareness of all these like multitude of different things. And it's like a combination of that and like having like really wonderful collaborators, you know.
So I guess another question I'm gonna add on to Patrick's question. So do you think that quality and output are at like a 1-to-1 ratio? So they just go up on a graph together? So your very first one, it was bad, but then as you eventually just like keep putting them out, does it just get better?
Well, yeah. I mean, well, okay.
So how do you look back at like your previous work? Are you like, I don't like that anymore because I've like progressed to here, or
I do everything I can to not think about my previous work, like at all. Like it's like I really try to not think about it, and like whether I'm like avoiding it,
yeah,
I don't know. It's like I have a lot of early work that I have not. I felt compelled to keep it available just as like a reference,
yeah,
maybe, but I don't think it's very good. It's like I don't
yeah,
think it's particularly good. Um, but okay, I'll preface all of this. Like, I think quality is fake. Like, I think the notion of like, especially in the arts, of like good versus bad is just like not really
hmm
real, because it's just like there's no quantification of it. I can't, like, half the things I like, where it's like, why do I like this album that
Yep.
is like one piano note every 5 minutes?
yeah,
Why do I like that? I Who knows? But I find it very compelling, and like, uh, I can. It's like you barely know it's on, but I like it. Like I'm having a good time.
yeah,
um, yeah, I think quality is maybe fake.
hmm
Because when I'm making stuff, like I just do it, and I just like follow through with the ideas, and like there are things where you think about it and you're like, that sounds bad, I'm going to take that out.
hmm
But like the end result is just kind of like I just kind of like roll the ball around, and like whatever it picked up
yeah,
is kind of the thing. um but yeah, I mean, practice, it's like the 10,000 hours thing, I think is true, where it's
hmm
like the more time you spend with things and on things, the better you get at it.
Have you read the book Outliers?
No.
Okay, that's pretty much that. You don't need to read
Is
it.
it?
I just summarized it to
I've like received the book.
Yeah, you pretty much just like I said that, and you don't need to read it. Like you just know it already.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just
Someone asks you if you read Outliers, you just say yes now.
yes. I've lived Outliers, man.
Yeah, that's cool though. So I guess I'm gonna add on to that again. Do you ever just throw on one of your own records, and do you ever just like sit there and you're like, this is so good? Like, you ever just get your own song stuck in your head or anything? Like,
Andrew Weathers guy.
because you were mentioning that
it
you like try to avoid thinking about your past work at all times. So, like, do you ever just get like a record in the mail from like the label or something giving you your artist copy, and do you ever just like throw it on your tape deck or like,
uh you
turntable?
know I don't really believe in guilty pleasures,
Yeah.
but I think like if there's a guilty pleasure, it is that I when I listen to my own music, I
Yeah.
feel like shame and guilt. Um, but sometimes if um, uh, I my solo work I don't really listen to that much unless I have, functionally sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
Um, but I listen often to collaborative things that I've done.
Oh. I could see
Um,
that being kind of different because it's like more of like a, I don't really know how to articulate it, but I see what you mean.
yeah, well, it's just like, oh, I miss my friends,
Yeah.
and or like, I did we do a good job?
Yeah.
Like does this is am I just like fooling myself? And then you listen to your thing and you're like, I'm reminded of my friends. And so it's on occasion, but
Yeah.
like, you know, like full spectrum releases, once they're out, I just never listen to them. Uh, and like, maybe, sorry, everybody, but like, but it just like, at once something has been released, I've listened to it so many times.
Oh, no, I see what you mean. That's how I am with like my shows too, because I have to
Yeah.
sit here and listen for like, I'm gonna have to do the same thing here. I'm probably gonna have to listen to it 3 times throughout the week, make sure I get all of like the curse words, make sure everything sounds good.
Yeah.
And then by the time it airs and stuff, I'm just like, I'm over it. You know
You're
what I'm
done.
saying?
It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Uh,
it's if I'm on somebody's podcast or whatever like this, I won't listen to this. I'm sorry. Like I can't it's too embarrassing to listen
oh,
to
it
myself
definitely
talk.
is embarrassing to listen to yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
All the
it's so
time. I
embarrassing.
say dumb shit on my own radio show all the time.
Dude.
And I'll go back and listen to it and I'm like, dude, I'm so dumb. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's like, why did I go so hard about like the suburbs? Like, why am I
Yeah,
standing the
exactly.
suburbs right now? Like,
I,
come
I
on.
talked 10
No, this
minutes
is
about
good.
the
This is good.
PCT. Like,
Yeah.
why did I do that? You know what I'm saying? Be listening to that and be like, should I cut this? Nobody wants to hear me just babble about the PCT. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But they do though, you know?
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I mean, this is kind of like why quality is fake.
yeah, exactly. You know,
You know,
we do this
we
for,
just have we're so in our own heads and filled with like personal feelings that have like maybe little basis in reality that
yeah,
like if
Yeah,
we're judging, you just can't judge anything.
yeah,
you can't quantify it to abstract it or abstract enough to quantify it for people. But like again,
Yeah.
I've got right next to me this advanced tape of Enigma's 1989 catalog and Chet Baker, best of.
Yeah.
This is quality. Both of them to me are going to serve the same purpose.
Yeah. 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 Well, and it's just like, you know, my you my life experience has led me to believe that listening to Jandek is like fun and a good time.
yeah,
And a lot of people, if you play that, they're like, what is wrong with this man? And we just we just are like a mess of personal experiences and reference points. It's kind of like the thing I was talking about the folk music piece where like to explain this one thing, you have to go back to
yeah,
15 different things to get to the one point. And
yeah,
like everything is like that. So
yeah.
the fuck do we know about anything? This is like getting into some like stone philosophy
Oh,
major
100%, right?
territory.
Yeah. Um, one more thing I'm gonna add on to that. So, do you ever listen back to your masters? The masters that you do for
Um,
people? Like,
you mean like after the
actually,
functional part of it is
yeah,
over?
yeah, after you're just like, okay, hey, like, you know, I'm done with this. Here, you get your like record and you can do whatever you need to do with it. Like, I actually have one right here just by chance. This one, this Drouse tape. And
Oh
ambient.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I don't honestly, because it's the same thing as when I do things on full spectrum.
Because you're just listening to it for so long. Like,
Yeah, I just
uh-huh,
spent so many hours with things, and
uh-huh.
like, you know, like, like Gretchen subscribes to Claire's Bandcamp
Oh yeah.
thing,
oh, yeah.
and so she gets all the physical copies of everything, and I master like 90% of Claire's work, Claire Rousey,
Yeah.
and I think Gretchen gets kind of bummed because she doesn't get to hear it because I'm like, no, I can't. It's just like can't put that on right now.
Yeah.
We're done. Discreet the market. We're not listening to anymore.
Yeah, and it's like you know, like I listened to the Maury's album Mari after the fact when I
Uh-huh.
got a physical copy of it,
Yeah.
and I just got really bummed out because I was like, man, I think I didn't do a very good job on
Oh, I
this.
could see that too. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? We were
and
just
like
like, I
maybe
could have done better.
maybe I
Like,
did. I don't know, but like I can't think about it because I did
uh-huh.
it and it's out. And like if I start to really dig into those things, I'll redo everything I've ever done.
Yeah.
Just let it be. It's okay. We'll do the listening.
Yeah.
We've got
Yeah,
that. I've got. I mean, I've got those tapes. I really do. I love the hell out of them. And I'll go back and revisit some Claire stuff, and then
We'll report
yeah.
back to you, Andrew. We'll listen and we'll
Thank
report
you.
back to you. Yeah, like, you don't need to listen to him anymore. We'll listen for you and then we'll tell you it sounds good. So you can just
Yeah,
keep
you can
going with
also
that.
tell me when it sounds bad too. Like that's good. That's great.
How would you feel if I literally just messaged you, "Hey Andrew, I'm honestly not that big of a fan of your mastering work here."
I mean,
Or like
honestly,
just
like that is like truly welcome.
has
Like I've
any
had
have people
people
done
do
that before?
stuff. Say that again.
Have people done that before?
You know, it's like no one has ever been like, "Hey, you did a bad job," I think.
Yeah.
But people have like message me like, "Hey, this one part on like this Kyle Gann CD you mastered, like, is it supposed to sound like that?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I had, and you get into a discussion about it,
Mhm.
and I think that that's actually like pretty
I
pretty
could see
cool.
it being constructive. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like you can always just keep improving on your skills, you know?
totally, totally.
So here's one more that we actually just got like 5 seconds ago. Now that I
Hell yeah.
refreshed the page, this one's from Time Suck. Um,
oh,
what is Time Suck?
Time
this is
suck.
Oh, small record label for tapes.
Yeah, out in
So
Ogden.
yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to some of their stuff. So when does the new machete photo drop?
Oh, new machete photo. I think I need a new machete. I've
Oh,
I've already like taken pictures with all of my blades. Oh, actually, I have a small knife that I haven't taken a picture of, that I will post for Harvey later
Oh heck
today.
yeah. Wait, so
Yeah, Harvey is time suck.
so what are they referencing here?
Um, uh,
Do you just post photos of your blades on like Instagram
yeah,
or
yeah.
something?
Like I had like a brief phase where I had acquired a machete and I took this like kind of buck wild picture, and then a little bit later I acquired an axe and I took a picture with the axe, and I was just like, you know what? Maybe pictures of blades is my thing. Uh, so yeah, I actually have a small knife that I'll take a picture with. So later
Oh,
today,
that's dope.
new blade pick.
Oh hell yeah, dude! I'm
Yeah,
stoked. You heard
yeah.
it. You heard it here first. Time suck. You're gonna get your blade photo.
Hell yeah.
So I think that just about does it. Where can people keep up with your prolific projects, as Patrick says? Where can people just keep up? Do you have any last remarks? Like,
Well, just thanks for talking and having me talk about all this wacko stuff
no,
that
thank you. We are blessed to have Texas Prairie Legend Andrew Weathers on the show.
cute. Yeah, no, it's super fun. Uh, I'm on all the social media. I probably like talk the most shit on Twitter. That's like the least filtered, if one desires that.
Yeah.
But I'm on Bandcamp. There's the Full Spectrum Bandcamp, my Andrew Weathers Bandcamp. And there are email lists of all of these on the andrewweathers.com and fullspectrumrecords.com.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, I'm a pretty easy guy to find. I also just, if anything I say to anyone who hears this is interesting or confusing, my email address is andrewweathers@gmail.com.
Hell yeah.
And like, that's great. I love to talk about things. Yeah, I think that's it.
Sounds good. Maddie, you want to hit Andrew with the very last question here?
oh yeah, this one it always comes and it kind
It's
of
the
just
very last
sticks.
one. You
Uh,
may know it. You may
so,
know it.
so a rat's going to jump in your mouth now, and it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Head or butt here, and why?
Head,
Okay.
Why?
because it's smaller, and yeah, it's smaller, and if you have to fight the rat, it is less rat to bite through.
So you just bite its head off?
Ooh. Okay.
If a rat is going to jump in my mouth and it is like angry, you might have to bite a rat's head off.
Andrew's the culprit here. I found the culprit of this photo. That's Andrew, dude.
Wow. Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I was backpacking and we came across that rat just beheaded. So something just like ate half of it and then left the other half. And I was just
Brutal.
like,
And they ate the top half,
dude, they did. So I was like, but now I know the culprit. I know who did it.
Yeah.
Don't have to be
Sorry, man.
Yeah. So
And less tail.
see, that's another thing that people say is that the tail, they wouldn't be able to deal with the tail's texture.
Yeah, that sounds extremely disgusting.
It sounds unpleasant. Some spaghetti going down,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if
Yeah.
I'd be down either. So, but anyways, I mean, I guess maybe I'd be down. This is the answer I always give just because it's nice. No one gets hurt. But you basically take the rat butt first into the mouth, and then you calm it down, you pet it on its head, and you befriend it, and you make it a little ratatouille and put it under your hat. You can make some 5-star meals.
Wow. You're more gentle with the rats than I am, I think.
So there it is. I think that's all we have for today. Thanks for tuning into TBD on KCSB FM at 91.9 every Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. and NetNet Radio every Saturday at 4 p.m. This is Andrew Weathers. Thanks for being on the show, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks for having me.